All right, so today is Friday, the 24th of January, 2025. In fact, this January seems to be running very fast. January 1st was just like yesterday, and today is already 24th. All right, so we will look at fundamentals and we go over to the technicals to see what we have, for today to trade. So I'm on Forex Factory now. Just take a look at the important events that'll be happening this morning. Our focus is going to be this morning session because someone else will take the afternoon session. So overnight, there was the JPY events at 4:23 a.m. That's why I said overnight because in Nigeria, definitely we were sleeping. Most of us were sleeping at that time. There was a Bank of Japan outlook report, BOG policy rate, and policy statements that already took place. And okay, there was also the BOJ press conference. That's really tentative, meaning that it can happen at any time. No specific time has been allotted to that particular one. But the important ones that will take place this morning session is from the Eurozone. We have the French flash manufacturing PMI, French flash services PMI coming up by 9:15 a.m. this morning. And by 9:30 a.m., there'll be German flash manufacturing PMI, German flash services PMI. 10 a.m., there'll be flash manufacturing PMI and flash services PMI. All these events are coming from the Eurozone between 9:15 a.m. and 10 a.m. So a lot of events, about 6 events coming on the Euro. So Euro is really going to move this morning based on this event that we've just itemized. And also today, all day, there'll be the WEF annual meetings. And by 10:30 a.m. this morning, there will be a flash manufacturing PMI and flash services PMI from the United Kingdom. And this will impact heavily upon the GBP, that's the British pound. By 11 a.m., there will be ECB President Lagarde's speech. So the president of the European Central Bank will give a speech by 11 a.m. this morning, and that will be the last event for this morning session. The other ones will take place in the afternoon between 3:45 p.m. and 4 p.m. So we'll not bother ourselves with that. Afternoon analysis will take care of that. So this morning we're expecting a lot of volatility on the euro and the pound pairs. Euro and the pound pairs. That's where we're expecting volatility this morning. Now, I have some technical setup, but then let's complete the fundamentals. I will look clearly at our expectation. And this also means that this morning session, as much as possible, we will not really be trading technicals, because we have an event that spans from 9:15 to 11 a.m. So the market is just going to be more fundamental driven. So I want us to put that in mind. And the specific instruments that the fundamental will affect will likely have a lot of volatility based on the number of events we are anticipating. So the news that is coming from the French flash manufacturing PMI. Now, some of these data sometimes the best of it is when they come out, both of them good, or let me say all of them good for the currency pair, and you expect a massive bullish movement, or they come out bad generally, and you expect a bearish movement. But then it looks like these days, even when they're even the same currency, sometimes the data comes out opposing each other, and that leads to spikes. So we really don't know specifically what the outcome of this event will be, but we just try as much as possible to get ourselves informed as to how to manage the trades when they eventually evolve. So I'm going to flip over now to my technicals on the MetaTrader platform. Just a second. All right, so the first instrument we're going to look at is going to be the GBP, or let's start with the Euro USD since we even have a Euro news ahead. All right, so this is the Euro USD. I'll start my top-down analysis from the daily time frame. Now the truth about this instrument is that it's actually getting ready for a long-term bullish movement. With a falling wedge pattern that we are seeing, a falling wedge pattern, RSI on the daily time frame, because this is the daily time frame we're checking out. RSI is already clearly above 50. It's 56 on the daily time frame. So the long-term movement of this instrument is actually bullish. But then it's also a function of the outcome of the event we are seeing this morning. Now, even though the long-term direction is bullish, we'll also not neglect the fact that price is trading uh, around the trend line, which is a key region, and price is just around here. And the current price also seems to be trading around this key level, which price has touched multiple times. We can see price touching it at this point as a resistance. Sorry, I didn't draw that well. Okay, we can see price touching that level here as a resistance, a support here, a support here. Price touched it, try to break but reverse. So this is a key level also. So price is actually at a very critical point. Now, if you flip down to the 4-hour time frame, we're having a clearer picture of what to expect, possibly in the short term on this instrument, all things being equal, because I can clearly see here that price is trying to give us a head and shoulder pattern, which could lead to a bearish movement if the news comes out bad, for the euro. So we can take it down again further to the 1-hour time frame, and it's a lot clearer. While we look at a bullish breakout for the long term, in the short term, we have a setup that could trigger this trade into the that could trigger this currency pair rather into the bearish direction because of the confluence we have at the zone. A trend line from the daily, a key level on the still on the daily 1 hour, and finally on the 1 hour we have a head and shoulder pattern information. So I would say that I have a bearish outlook for this instrument. And if by 9 o'clock this morning and 9 o'clock, sorry, 9:15, and all the other data are released, if they come out bad for the euro, then that will trigger the euro USD in the bearish direction. And we may just anticipate that bearish direction. I could also drop a sell stop order for us to, anticipate a bearish breakout and plan for an opportunity to sell, all things being equal. So I hold a bearish outlook for the euro USD. And for the GBP USD, now don't forget we have a news coming in from the Eurozone, you know, and also we have one coming from the United Kingdom. So both of them are experiencing the volatility of the news this morning. Now for the GBP, we're having the same thing also, the same kind of setup that we're having on the euro. We have a falling wedge pattern. Again, I will emphasize that this instrument's long-term move is actually still bullish. That's a long-term move. But then we're looking at what we can trade for now, because it's a falling wedge pattern. Price has dropped from a lower high to a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high. Now this is where we are at the moment. Normally, if price breaks out from here, it will be a long-term bullish movement, because that will be a complete reversal. And that also stems from the fact that if you go on the weekly time frame, there's actually a support. There's a support zone around the GBP USD right here. So this supports a long-term bullish movement. However, as much as we have that outlook of a long-term bullish movement, we can also see at the moment that we have price trading around the trend line, and at the point we are, it's possible to experience some reversal, or let's call it some minor retracement. So here we have price touching the trend line, second time, a third touch, a fourth touch, and price is on that trend line, is testing that trend line again. So it's possible if the news comes out bad for the pound, we may experience some minor bearish movement over there. And if that happens, then we might take advantage of that to sell the British pound, the GBP USD. Though I can tell you that later on, probably next week, we will eventually see a breakout for a massive long-term bullish movement. But for now, I want to hold a bearish outlook. Let's drop it down to 4 hour. On the 4 hour, we also can see that we can see a rising wedge. Now, this one is not the head and shoulder like what we saw on the Euro USD. What we're seeing here is a rising wedge. And if the news comes out bad for the pound, then price will drop downwards. Though in reality, if it comes out good for the pound, we'll see a breakout up here. But let's look at what the chart is saying at the moment. If the news comes out bad for the pound, we'll look for an opportunity to sell the GBP USD. And that also takes me to another instrument, a euro instrument. Okay, now let me just leave that out for now. That's let me look at the New Zealand JPY. The reason why I don't want to talk about the other instrument is actually Euro GBP. Since Euro and Pound are both involved, it will not be wise to want to still trade the Euro GBP. Let's leave it out. So I'll talk about the New Zealand JPY. That's the third instrument I will analyze for us this morning. All right, so this is the New Zealand JPY. On the daily time frame, we can clearly see that price hits a resistance level. It's actually even a zone. Price has hit it multiple times, and this is today's candle testing that same resistance level and retracing. This is a retracement. That's what caused the shadow here, and it's retracing to the extent that it's now looking a lot like we're having a what's it called, a rejection candle. Though the day is yet to be over, but then that is what we're seeing. Now, if we flip down to the 4 hour, we can clearly see that truly we had a rejection candle in the last 4 hour. With all this one is not has nothing to do with the news. It's a complete technical setup. We are technically expecting a bearish movement on the New Zealand JPY. Now that's the 4 hour. We can flip it down again to the 1 hour, and this is the 1 hour side to it, and we can draw our trend line up here. Draw a second one right here to have a perfect looking rising wedge pattern. So we'll be anticipating a breakout downwards, a breakout of price below this trend line to trigger a sell on the New Zealand JPY. And that will be after our RSI clearly crosses below 50. So I hold a bearish outlook on the New Zealand JPY. All right, so three instruments I've analyzed for this morning session. I've analyzed the Euro USD, and I said I'm bearish on the Euro USD, the GBP USD, and I equally said I'm bearish on the GBP USD, and finally the New Zealand JPY. I'm equally bearish on the New Zealand JPY. All of them on the 1 hour time frame. So let's go back to the Euro USD and have pending order in place, pending when the news will be released. Just a second. All right, so I'm going to place a sell stop order on Euro USD. Euro USD sell stop at 1.04129. Take profit at 1.03639 and the stop loss at stop loss at 1.04629. All right, so I'll drop that now in the comment section, and I'll drop it also for those in the funded clients group. Please practice risk management, very important. Practice risk management, and I always emphasize on this, regardless of who is giving a signal. Always practice risk management. All right, so I've posted it in the comment section already, and for those in the funded group. Now, for those who might be new on the platform are wondering what is a funded group. Funded group is a special group for clients of PU Prime who have funds in their trading account. That's why we call it funded group. And so what's so special about this group? Special thing is that they get more consistent signals. During the analysis session, we just draw maybe one. For those in the funded group, they get more and they can testify to that. You can remember that for those in the funded group, you checked yesterday, the signals that were drawn for you entered a lot of profit. Now that's opportunity is not available to those who just attend the analysis. Analysis is general for everybody, anybody can attend. But if you want more action, then you need to be a funded client of PU Prime, because there are many people in the analysis who are not even clients to PU Prime. So if you want to enjoy more services from PU Prime, all we're saying is that make sure you open a live trading account and that account becomes funded. That is, you have funds in the account to enjoy more services from our PU Prime. And don't forget, we're going to have our next live trading session by the first Friday in February, when we'll be trading NFP live. Don't miss it. You know, our last NFP and CPI was bomb. We made a lot of profits trading live, and the same thing is going to happen by the time we're having the next NFP on the first Friday in February. And that's okay, that's going to be February 7th, because last day of yeah, that's gonna be February 7th. That will be the first Friday in the month of February. That's roughly some 2 weeks away from now. Make sure you have a funded account to be a part of that, live trading session. Okay, Noel is asking me to check gold and GBP JPY, and Paul Obasi asked me to check gold again and USD CHF. Mr. Sonny, good morning, sir. Please remember USD card. I'm on sale. Okay, so I think I should start with Mr. Sonny because he posted first before these other people. So let's check out USD card for Mr. Sonny. All right, so this is the USD card. We didn't know which direction the market would go due to Trump's speech yesterday. But somehow it looks like the speech didn't have as much effect as we anticipated it could have on the market. All right, so this is the USD card. If you want to sell, it depends on where your entry is, because currently USD card is selling. This is the daily time frame. Today alone, it has sold by about 57 pips. And there's a high tendency it may target the support level at 1.43011. But the thing is that when it touches that support level, it's possible two things could happen. If there's sufficient volatility, price may break that support. This is what I'm saying. It may target this support. and on getting here, we may have a reversal. Don't forget today is Friday. There could be change of direction, towards the afternoon. It could happen. It does happen. And it's also possible price may not touch that level completely because as in that support I'm showing you, because if you look at it critically, there's equally another support around this place. A minor one though for 1 hour. The blue line is for the daily support, but there's a 1 hour support around this region, and price is very close to that support. So this is just to guide you. If your price, we have about 7 pips to get to the 1 hour support, and about 25 pips to get to the daily support. Just make sure you have a stop loss in place in case there's any reversal if price hits any of this support level. So there could be a reversal from here. There could also be a reversal from here. All right, so that's my view for the USD card for Mr. Sonny. Then Paul Obasi is asking about gold and USD All right, so this is the USD on the daily time frame. Now we've had a bearish outlook on this instrument all week, with a proposed head and shoulder pattern where price already broke out. Now we saw a retracement. Price is again testing uh, a support region, which is like a neckline. All right, so we can see here that price is testing this support region on the 4 hour, just like the USD card. If when price touches here and there's no sufficient volatility, what we'll see is a bounce back into the bullish direction. Uh, I'm trying to check if there's going to be a dollar. Yeah, I think there's a dollar news in the afternoon by 3:45 p.m. Flash manufacturing PMI and flash services PMI, and by 4 p.m. there's going to be revised UOM consumer sentiment and existing home sales. All right. So those events, we don't know which direction it may go to, but judging with the technicals, towards the end of the day like that, if price is resting on this minor support by that time, if the news comes out good for the dollar, we will see some bullish movement. I can tell you that one. And like I always say, on Fridays, you trade with a lot of caution because most of the time reversals are easier to happen on Fridays than any other day of the week. So if price is getting to that support level by afternoon and the news favors it, you'll see a reversal most likely to the upside. So that's the view I can have now. Though eventually it may still, I told you that even for the GBP USD, Euro USD, the final destination is still bullish. This might still now eventually now give us a bigger picture on the USD CHF of a bigger head and shoulder, then now drop maybe by next week. But for today, there's more likelihood of it to buy than to sell. Though it still depends on the news, but that's the projection I'm seeing. And for gold, even before I go to gold, if you look at the dollar index, see the dollar index. In fact, this even gives us the perfect view of the whole thing. This is the dollar index. Dollar index currently is trading at a support level on the daily time frame. This is support. This is a minor support here, and this is a resistance. So we have a resistance on support. Technically, we should be looking at a reversal, except there's a lot of volatility that breaks this level. Except that happens today. There's a lot of volatility that breaks that level. Otherwise, technically, where price is at the moment, a reversal is looking more of the certainty, except there is a change in the market conditions. So that being said, we'll look at gold. Now, on the daily time frame, gold is approaching a resistance level. This is the resistance. So price might go up to close up this resistance before declining maybe later. Let's go down to 4 hour. And don't forget also that gold will also react to the news from the United States. That could also affect gold. But from a technical angle, there's a strong likelihood that gold is currently testing this trend line. So we may see a retracement. Now, this is my view on gold. There is a minor resistance here. So it's possible gold drops. Now we are also looking for an opportunity for a sell on Euro USD and sell on GBP USD. These are all anti-dollar pairs, just like gold. So if those ones move in that manner, it's possible for gold to first of all drop to test this resistance turn support, then go back up to hit this final resistance. That's very, very possible. So we may see a drop, then a breakout. Let's take it out to 15 minutes and see if there's any other thing to check. Yeah, we have a rising wedge on gold on the 15 minutes. So it's possible. Let's just watch out. It's not six. I'm not giving a signal on this because there's no clear signal, but this is what I feel may happen. Price may come down to this zone, then break out afterwards. So just watch it. And if you can trade it, if it happens that way, then it can give you a lot of confidence to find how you can trade it with your own personal strategy. All right, so that's my view on gold, USD CHF. The last one is the GBP JPY. Now, most of the JPY pairs are looking like they are going bearish. Don't forget there was a news on the Japanese yen overnight, and that's what is responsible for whatever activity we are seeing on the JPY pairs. So this is the GBP JPY on the daily time frame. All right. There's a previous support here turned resistance, and today's candle is looking like a rejection candle. Now, when a candle is giving a pattern during the day, in reality, we can't hold on to that pattern 100% because the day is yet to be over. Anything can happen during the course of the day. A move can happen now that this rejection will change to a full candle, but then we'll still not ignore it. We'll still, go to a lower time frame to see if that pattern is actually repeated on the lower time frame. So I go to the 4 hour. And this is what I can see on the 4 hour time frame. We have a previous candle here, which we can't really call a rejection candle, just a candle with long shadows on both sides. But what is apparent on this instrument now is that that candle seems to be giving us a kind of a reversal, because you can see the next candle after it, which is the current candle, is a red candle, which signifies a possible bearish movement in the market. Please take notes. I just use that as an illustration. I'm not saying every time you see a red candle, you place a sell. No, a red candle does not mean it's not a sell signal. There are things you look out for before you place a buy or a sell. All right, so I can draw a trend line right here, and can we have a rising wedge? Well, yes. All right, so we're having similar pattern to what we saw on the New Zealand JPY. So if this resistance holds and price breaks out below this trend line, then we'll see a sell on the GBP JPY. Currently, RSI is below 50. That means its price is really getting set for a bearish movement. But also, before we can trigger a sell, price needs to break uh, a support level. Oh, sorry, that's too big. Okay. Price needs to break below this support level. A new candle needs to appear below this level for us to trigger a sell on the GBP JPY. All right, so that'll be all. I think whoever has asked that question should take note, and then any other person who can take note. I'm saying this one more as a kind of a valid setup, just like the ones I've analyzed earlier. And if this works out just like this setup, you can have a profit potential of close to between 50 and about 100 pips on this instrument. All right, so I think I can still add this to the ones I analyzed. We're looking at a bearish movement on the Euro USD, the GBP USD, the New Zealand JPY, and the GBP JPY. All right, so that will be all from my end for this morning. If you're on the platform, you don't have an account with PU Prime, head straight to our website www.puprime.com to open a live trading account. Is USD index tradable? Of course, every instrument on the platform is tradable. It's only that generally in our mindset we know that we use it to get the direction of the dollar. But if you trade it and it becomes profitable, you can withdraw. There's nobody stopping you from withdrawing. Any instrument on the platform is tradable and the profit is withdrawable. If it's not tradable, then it will not be activated for trading. It will just be activated for viewing. So if you feel you want to trade it, why not? You're free. You're free to do so. All right. And if this still looks a little complex to you, you're a complete beginner, you don't know how to trade yet, but you want to make money in the forex market, then I can tell you that we have a solution for that. It's called copy trading. You can get across to me. I can guide you on how to get started with that. Okay, now that's the end of the session this morning. Take care and have a great day ahead. Bye bye. You're welcome, Mr. Noel.